Dancing pirate.
Why are you smiling, bro?
I don't know, man.
One game. Relax. Welcome to Across the Galaxy, where we talk all things LA Galaxy.
LA Galaxy.
Finally.
Finally.
Ah, damn it. I feel like I fucked up already. I'm going to say Full House, but.
Almost Full House.
Yeah, Chewy's not here. Fuck it. Full House. Finally.
Full House.
Yeah, Edgar's got the right idea. But yeah, Full House. Everyone is here except Chewy, but Chewy mostly does the producing, so I guess.
He's here in spirit.
There you go. I know he's watching. Thumbs up, Chewy. Make sure to hit like because we need those likes.
Everybody has watching right now.
Yeah. So, Bryant always here, across from me. Crazy, look right here at the stadium with
I'm
me.
right here. Hey.
Yeah, nice setup they did. We got
You guys
Spenny.
are at looks like you guys are in the restaurant. That's a nice view they got there.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. That smoke is it's kind of
That smoke
scary.
will go away, man. You sure it's smoke?
All those fires, bro.
Is it smoke in the inside or the outside?
That's I ordered the fajitas. And you know how it comes like in a skillet and shit. So it's like it's just.
Steaming.
We got Spenny up in here wearing his crown. Hey, I tried to find Brian one of those, but they were sold out on Clipper ones.
And
Hey, don't start right now, bro. I gotta see one.
We got Tony,
what up? What up? What up?
and we got Edgar.
What's up?
So everyone seems to be in a good mood.
We are.
It's just one fucking game, but we'll get into that. We do a midweek show, and in the midweek show we talked about GBS being fired and what that means going forward in the for the future, for the near future and the long term future for the Galaxy. Tony, Spenny, and Edgar didn't really get a chance to speak on it, so we're gonna give them the floor for a minute. I'm gonna start with Spenny. I'll start with Spenny.
Spenny.
I think it was justified. I was actually one that was in favor of letting GBS finish the season since it was so short. But after that 5-2 against Portland, if it would have happened after the game or during this week, it wasn't going to be a surprise anymore. The change had to be made. With today's example of the team, I don't think it should stop at GBS. I think more people are accountable, especially the people that were on the field today. But that's a different conversation.
Which we can have later, but yeah, go ahead, Tony.
Oh, I was gonna say, dude. Yeah, man. It was. I'm just kind of bummed that they didn't do it sooner, man. They didn't do it at least 3-4 days sooner, because I feel like the lag. By the time that they did it, I mean, I would have just given the guy like, all right, dude, finish your job, and by the end of the season's over, like your job's done. Yeah, man. I'm just surprised they didn't pull the trigger sooner, because that would have really like made things better, I think. But oh well. So I'm just glad he's gone, dude, because I don't think his system was working at all, dude. Or maybe the players weren't like reacting to him, but yeah, it wasn't working, and it was very, very obvious.
Edgar.
I'm a little bummed because I expected better things from him, especially coming from Boca Juniors and the success that they had. But when you draw, I mean, it's kind of difficult to draw parallels between this club and Boca Juniors. But the one thing that I remember very well about Boca is that they have so much star power, and the star power is what carried them to championships and to the Libertadores final. And unfortunately, the Galaxy was had some, I guess, wet gunpowder. Speaking of Chicharito, and Pavon had been mostly consistent all season, but as of late, it's been hard seeing him struggle on the field. So I was bummed out because I expected better. However, at some point, whether it was during the MLS back tournament or over the course of this real difficult season, I think GBS lost the respect of his locker room. There's so many other issues swirling around the team. Maybe they weren't able to manage it well, but now he's gone, and we'll never get to see what kind of process they had in play, and Kopit had a lot to play with that. But that's already, past us. It's water under the bridge. We've got to look forward. And in soccer, tradition is that new coach, new manager, means a victory. And sure enough, we have a victory. But you got to remember who we were playing, RSL, and they're having their own issues right now. So while it looks great and it feels great to win, yeah, we'll get a better litmus test against Seattle.
I gotta disagree with one thing he said as far as it being water under the bridge. We got flooded with incompetence from the coaching staff, and we're still knee high, shin high in his shit that he left behind because there's nothing that you can build on from this team that he left behind.
Well, let me ask all of you guys this question, and I'm gonna start with Spenny. Do you think, seeing how we got the 3 points today, and it was a new coach, interim new coach, do you think GBS was the bad juju, was the toxic character in that locker room, which is why they couldn't get those points before?
No, I don't. I think today, even though they got the win, it shows less character from the team because this is the same team that he had available, and the difference was effort. The coach can't bring out the effort in you. If you don't have the effort for the coach and for the crest, that's a personal problem. That's a player. That's a player issue. It's not necessarily a coaching issue. His job was to create the strategy, put people in the position to be successful with the talent that they have. And for them to come out to perform like they did today means they've always had it in them. They just didn't want to perform. And that's hard to take in and to want to build off of this team with this personnel for next year. So if the coach that they bring in or a player that they bring in you don't like, you're not going to perform again? I don't want you on this team. Why does somebody have to get fired and lose their job for you to turn up?
I'd like to see how that argument holds up after the Seattle game because Seattle's going to come in wanting to bounce back from their loss tonight. And that'll, like I said, it'll be a better representation of what this team really can do under this new system. And I'd like to see that because if Galaxy pulls off a good result from Seattle, then, whoa, then you really do have a good argument in your hands. But otherwise, I think we just played a really bad team tonight. A team that is probably in a bad moment. They're missing Beckerman, and which is an integral part to that team. And they had players in bad positions that they shouldn't have been there.
Rusnak.
Rusnak was missing. And who's
No, Rusnak was playing out of position.
No, they're all playing out of position. Who's their forward that they had playing?
Frylock, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. He should have been up top. They had him playing somewhere in the middle. I mean, they're a mess.
I don't think today was that great of a game. I think Kobe Jones and Tutino did a good job of lifting the perspective on this team today.
Yeah, hell yeah.
They were still playing very bad. They were not
say very bad. Very bad's kind of a
okay.
stretch.
They
They were playing bad. Real Salt Lake was still getting a lot of space with no pressure over the ball.
We're getting into the game or what, guys? Come on.
It's just I'm actually more pissed about this win because it's more of a facade, man. This whole season has been a facade. That 6-game winning streak was just.
6-game unbeaten streak.
There's a lot of ways to put it.
Fugazi, bro.
Fugazi. Hey,
you know what, dude? It honestly, it could be the players. Maybe they have the juice in them, or maybe it could be the damn freaking coach, dude. I honestly feel like part of it is the coach. I think the coach and the coaching staff has a lot to do with it, man. It's not so much as like, oh, I'm comfortable with you, or I don't feel comfortable with you, or whatever. I just feel like the instructions of the coach were completely different than from the instructions of who we have right now. But like you could even tell on the game today, though, like. Yeah, their touches were like they were putting shit together. It wasn't that great of a game, like Spenny said. It really wasn't. But you could tell that they were all even like Kobe Jones said it. They're all defending as a team, and maybe that's the thing that the coach kind of put a fire under their ass. Like, okay, dude, like when somebody defends, like I want everybody in the fucking line, dude. Like I don't want nobody just to fucking not give a fuck and go up and just try to attack like GBS. GBS was all attack if anything. You know what I mean? So I think the coach does have a lot to do with it, but like, maybe it could be the players, maybe it could be the coach. There's a lot of possibilities to that.
But I'm just gonna back up Edgar's argument. In soccer, that's a normal thing. You get a new coach, you win. And in this situation, it just kind of lined up perfectly. The opponent in front of us was a depleted RSL. And just like I said in the midweek show, right now we're joking around all happy and stuff. But what did I say, Brian? We're gonna win 2-1, and all it was is gonna be a flash in the pan. There's all this like bad energy that just left the room, but guess who we play next? Reality check. That's what we play next.
Yeah, a very good team actually, but a very good team that lost to a very bad team today. So I mean,
that's even worse because that's happened a lot of times this season. And you know what? You know what comes up right after that? 6 or 5 goals conceded by that team.
We can catch Seattle.
Colorado's not that bad, man.
No, they're not. We talked about this, and that's why Robin Fraser was one of the coaches. One of the people I said we should go after as coach. And as a matter of fact, Bryant over here went and put up a poll on Twitter today. Thank you to everyone who voted. He put a poll out asking people who they would want as their
who
or think.
Well, here's the question: Who would be the best fit as the next Galaxy manager? Number 1 was Miguel El Piojo Herrera. Number 2 was Javier Vasco Aguirre. Number 3 was Dominic Kinnear. Number 4, Chris Armas. Number 5, Jurgen Klinsmann. And number 6, Robbie Keane. The leader with 56% of the votes was Miguel El Piojo Herrera.
That's shocking.
Yeah.
Who's number 2?
Number 2, Robbie King. But I think...
What percentage?
Well, 66 because I had to split the polls.
Okay.
But I would say is 40... No, 30.
He was only going against one person. That's why.
Yeah.
So, because Brian, I didn't know how Brian posted it, but yeah, that's even then. That's still shocking. I mean, Miguel Herrera. I don't follow him enough to know how he would do here. I know he's a fiery coach. I've seen like little videos of him and stuff, and that may be what the Galaxy need, but
Super Saiyan
I'm sure I'm not going to be the only one that's going to say this, and it's going to be on repeat. It kind of doesn't really matter who the next coach comes in. At the end of, if anything, this coach is going to lose his hair just trying to yell at all these,
No.
sorry.
I know about Piojo because I follow Club America, and his personality just would not fit with the MLS personality. Think about which MLS managers or coaches, right, have such a volatile personality or such an explosive personality that you actually can remember them losing their mind. And the only one that comes to my mind is Mike Petke. That one time he just went on that rant. But for the most part, MLS coaches just kind of lay low, do their thing, and maybe they'll have an outburst here and there. But El Piojo, he's always going nuts, man. And I think he would have like a really hard time trying to work with management, Klein, and other people that might not suit, some of his ideas.
Dude,
not to say he's a bad manager. I think he's a good manager in La Liga. Not Liga, Liga MX. But I'm not sure he would fit in MLS.
I'm pretty sure he's a professional guy, man. It's just what he shows us is that fiery character, So that's what we think he is. But aside from that, dude, I'm pretty damn sure he's all suits and ties when he's behind closed doors. You know what I mean?
My issue with a hiring like that is I don't think that's what we need. I think nothing against him. It's just in general. I think that the Galaxy need to bring in someone that not only knows the league but knows how to maneuver within the league. If you look at the teams that are being successful, they're MLS products or they're people that were in other positions within the MLS. Mm-hmm. With the exception of Tata Martinez, that got extremely lucky, I would say, with getting
Martino.
With getting Joseph Martinez, because without Joseph Martinez
and Almiron, you can't forget Almiron. Almiron was part of that good team too.
Let them talk, damn.
Just saying.
If you look at the teams that are being successful, they're people that know the region. Look what Bruce Arenas is doing with New England. He's winning on the road. New England was not known to win on the road. They're winning on the road. They're winning games. They're coming back from being down. As far as El Piojo being that fiery type, people may not remember how calm Bruce Arenas wasn't on the sideline sometimes. I invite you to go see his mic'd up episode that they had on him in this last game last weekend against Montreal. He's out here cursing his players out, something that we got to see live when we used to sit in those VIP seats. But the problem too is I think that you're not going to bring in a coach and give him the power that they need the way a Bruce Arenas has or had in the LA Galaxy, the way Greg,
Vanny.
what's his last name? Vanny has in Toronto, the setup that they have in Seattle. You need someone that's going to be able to make moves and make changes according to his plan, not what's going to sell jerseys and the connections that you have through so many people in the front office. And I don't think we're going to get something. I think that's going to be the biggest problem. They're still going to inherit, a contract in Jonah, a contract in Legit, and that ain't it. Let me tell you, Legit, Kitchen, and Jonah are not it if you're going to build anything for the future with this team.
Let me make it worse.
think,
You're still also holding on to People's contract.
There, Eddie, you mentioned Robin Fraser. Robin Fraser would actually be a great hire, but him, just like Greg Vanny, it's something I discussed with a friend who's a journalist, covers LA Galaxy. We discussed Galaxy managers this weekend. I brought up those two names, and he brought up a good point. He said those two guys are in situations right now where they're very comfortable, and they probably would not be willing to move back to LA to take over what's practically a roaring dumpster fire. One, the Galaxy alum that is available, and which I mentioned has had success in the past, is Chris Armas, which is why I included him in my short list. It's if you want to keep it in-house. And then you have the other names like we mentioned in the poll. But if I had my choice, I'd go after Chris Armas just because, he's part of that original Galaxy group. He has had success with New York Red Bulls, and I think that he could come in and take over the team as a project. He's not a real big name, so if things don't go right, he'd be able to take the fall. We could bring somebody else in. But I think he could be a good step forward.
Be straight up though.
Yeah, I mean,
straight up.
I want somebody who's going to hold the front office accountable too. This is all speculation. This is all speculation from me personally, but I feel like Bruce Arenas got a way to get out before it got ugly for him when he left. There was contract.
Things got really ugly for him with the national team.
But he took over in a bad situation, and the team gave up on themselves too. But speaking within the club, there was rumors after he left how Dejan played too rough, and because he wasn't going to get his contract the following year, he left within 2 weeks. Ashley Cole was reportedly promised bigger money, and he wasn't going to get it.
But he stayed.
But, he stayed, and I feel like the plan was already in place where the Galaxy wanted to bring in all the youngsters in 2017, and it wasn't to Bruce Arenas' liking because the skill wasn't there. And Bruce Arenas was real smart with the players that he brought in, with players like Juninho, Marcelo, Ishizaki. These players that he approved to be brought in actually made an impact. So I got to trust that he had an eye for it because of what he's doing in New England. If you would have told me that Teal Bunbury was going to be scoring double-digit goals this season, I would have been like, who? The fuck are you talking about? Because he can't be the same Teal Bunbury that's up north.
Your name's a color.
Look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. He had a brace today. That team is rolling over there. And I
should be
give
good when he played for
100%
Kansas City,
credit to Bruce Arenas up there.
Yeah, and
just a side note real quick, DeJong left. Not because he was too rough. He left because Bruce Arena took them off that there was no way the Galaxy was going to be spending money on him.
He was promised a DP contract.
That was part of my point that Bruce Arena saw the issues coming and he got a way to get out.
Yeah,
he couldn't hold the front office accountable anymore by being the GM and the coach.
Yeah, and Bruce is smart too. I think that was a good way for him to save face. I don't really think he really wanted to take that national team job, but he's like, you know what, this is a way to save face. This is a way that the team was, the fans will forgive me, and I don't know. And in case I want to come back, it was his
Man,
this was his way to
look at
leave.
the team he left behind. Look at the team he left behind. Steven Gerrard, Giovanni Dos Santos, Robbie Keane, Landon Donovan,
No,
Jello
Donovan.
Van Dam, Ashley Cole. I mean,
You mentioned
why would
Gerard
you
like
want
he
to
was
leave
good.
that team? Why would you want to leave that team if there wasn't a bigger issue going on?
Hey, you leave Gerard alone, okay? All right, Edgar.
No,
Yeah,
I'll
yes.
always hold his feet to the fire. Screw him.
Hey, we can use him as a coach right now. He's doing pretty good, all right? I'm
We
just
saw
saying.
the tail end of his career, dude. He was a
Man,
fucking.
he's doing
beast.
good like in a 2-horse race, man.
Oh, whatever, bro.
I don't
Look-
know.
look-
he was still dropping dimes over here.
Look at us. Can't even make it a playoff in a 9 fucking team qualifying. He just
Better than Chicha.
He converted his,
better than
he
Chico.
converted
That's
his
true.
penalty. He converted his penalty in the playoffs.
The only one that converted his penalty in the playoff.
Jesus Christ.
Don't you dare talk to Stevie G.
You know what? One thing that scares me, very much so. And then after this, we'll move on to the game because I mean that's what we should be talking about. Is somebody once when Brian put that poll, somebody put a picture up, and it reminded me. And it was already rumored, a picture of Teclose when he was working for the Mexican national team. And a fucking damn, I can't even remember his name right now. I'm getting so mad just thinking about it. The guy that used to coach the Red Bulls, Osorio. Oh God.
Carlos Osorio.
Oh, that guy's
No.
trash, dude.
No, no, no.
Oh no. Dude, Osorio is the most overrated coach ever, bro. You know, and then we have a chat, and I mentioned that maybe we owe Osorio because Osorio took over Bruce Arena's job in the Red Bulls, and that's when we picked up Bruce. And then once Bruce built that team that made it to the final, I think under Osorio, and then fucking Osorio just talk about a dumpster fire. That New York team became a dumpster fire under Osorio. How he ever got that Mexico national team job, I don't know. I mean, somebody hired him that I think that should be in the hot seat right now too. And that'd be scary, dude, because they already have a relationship. Mexican national team. Chicha's going to be here. Oh, dude, if that guy becomes a fucking coach.
More dumpster fire.
Yeah.
In.
Dumpster fire. Chernobyl.
Yeah. And then I was actually happy when he became the Mexico national team coach because I'm a U.S. fan. And that's when Mexico was living like their best moment. And like, yes, this guy's gonna ruin it for them. And he did. He won against Germany, and then I think they won the next game, and they won like 7 goals unanswered after that.
I'll give him credit with the national team, not to take anything away from him. You know, he was the most winningest Mexican coach in the first 100 games. But as far as MLS, no. He just couldn't cut it as a coach in the MLS. I got to go back to that. You got to know the region, you got to know the league, and he does not know the region and know the league.
Yeah, seriously, man. If we're gonna get a new coach, dude, like I would just honestly get something that is closer to home. I don't mind anything, dude, that's closer to home, dude. I just think it's better for us.
Well, you know who's from the region and has been here for a while? Dom Kinnear. And he got us a win.
Nah.
I was
But-
considering it a little bit leading up to this game, but his winning trophies happened over a decade ago. A whole different league,
Still a
with
championship
different
coach.
rules. You had no DP contracts when he was winning championships.
I don't know, man.
You had a salary cap of like $2 million when he was winning championships, bro.
Bruce won MLS Cup 96, 97, 99, and then he won again in 2011, 2012, and 2014.
We had 4 DPs on that roster, bro.
We had-
Landon Donovan hooked us up by not demanding a DP contract into 2014. We had 4 DPs. Don't kid yourself. We
Oh.
drafted well.
Hey, that
we
14
drafted
team was
well.
good, bro.
We drafted well with Omar, Sean Franklin before him. You
AJ.
had a 4th DP. You had, a young Juninho that was balling in the league, a young Marcelo that was a gem that nobody saw coming. So
Bruce
no.
Bruce saw him
No,
coming.
Oh, Bruce saw him coming, but
Jaime,
it's like
Venero.
Seattle. Seattle has a
Ese
perfect
mi
combination
portero.
right now. Seattle drafted well in this past draft. they got Morris, who should have gone to Europe, but he wanted to, stay home next to his daddy. Got him a job. Got him comfortable. Nobody saw Apocalypto coming over there either.
Oh, Rui Diaz.
Yeah,
That forward's a
baller,
beast,
baller.
Fuck Seattle.
Fuck Seattle.
And we'll actually have to talk about them in a minute. And to answer Masa, Arsene Wenger, nah, man, I don't like settling for 4th place every year. So I'm good on Arsene Wenger.
I don't want to win Open Cups.
Most winning Open Cup winning team. I'm good.
Dude, Arsene Wenger would die just with the travel across the country.
That's fucked up. You know what? Let's just move on to the game. So the Galaxy took on
They
Real
didn't take
Salt.
over.
He took over.
Took over Real
Their
Salt Lake.
fears. No.
Oh my
Took over their
God.
fears. Nah. All right, fuck it.
What?
What the fuck are you talking
I
about?
don't know, bro.
It's-
The smoke's getting to you.
I gave Brian
actually
coffee.
drinking
That's what
coffee.
happens.
Coffee's my choice today.
He's gonna be that squirrel from off the hedge right now, over the hedge, whatever it's called. Anyways, Galaxy took on Real Salt Lake today with Dom's first game in charge, and let's go with through the
Dom,
lineup.
that was not his first game in charge.
Oh,
his
his
new
latest game in charge.
yeah, there you go. All right, here we go. So Dom came out with this lineup right here, which was Bingham back and goal.
What?
I'm gonna go Insua left back, Araujo right back, Steris right center back, and the return of Pipo Gonzalez at left center back. CDMs, we had Jonathan Dos Santos, Perry Kitchen, and the quote unquote number 10, Sebastian Lletget out left. Pavon out right mid was Johnny Gonzalez, and on top was Ethan Lord Zubak. Guys, seeing this lineup, what are you thinking going into this game?
We were just throwing this game away, to be honest. First sign was Bingham. That's it. They're like, oh, I'm gonna watch a fucking massacre again. Here we go.
Bingham, huh?
Bingham.
Can you fucking believe it?
Bingham. Bingham. And he outscored once today. Ain't that some shit?
Anyone else have anything to say besides Bingham?
Dude,
Nah,
that was-
nothing. I just personally just checked if Chicha was on the bench, and that was it. I didn't care what the lineup was gonna be. I was more curious to see the difference in effort, if it was gonna be there or not.
Well, I saw that left side, Insua, Pipo, and Bingham. And my first thought was like, hey, meat's back on the menu, boys. I really thought they were gonna go tearing down that side and just exploiting it. And but no, we were pleasantly surprised. But like I said, it goes to show you again that it doesn't matter who you have back there. You could have Josh Saunders back there with this defense, and before this game, and they would still bleed goals, but with a more concerted defensive effort, things can be a little different. Make it easier on your goalkeeper.
Yeah, dude, I was already kind of just putting gasoline over the freaking, team. About to light the fire too, But yeah, I didn't care, dude. I was expecting the worst, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, I thought they had fired GBS. But here we go. No, yeah, I mean, I think everyone felt the same. I think the Galaxy fans felt the same too. They saw Bingham and people. You're just like, fuck, really? You got all these hopes for Dom, what he did last time, and you give us this shit? Yeah, I mean, the game started, and I think right away, you just saw like this more comfortable, more calm Galaxy. Despite how bad Salt Lake is, we've played other bad teams this season, and it hasn't looked, they didn't look as comfortable as they did to start this game off.
Well, at least this first half. The first half was a big improvement of what we've seen. I'm probably gonna say even over that 4-game winning streak. This was actually a very good half where they didn't force any passes to have any through balls, or they weren't forcing any crosses to nobody in the box.
What?
No, they weren't forcing any crosses. Well, it didn't look like that to me. It actually looked like they were trying to get into those little pockets so the wingers would like cut in. And,
You know what?
and try to make something. Which Yoni had one of those, and I was actually surprised with that.
And I know what Brian's talking about because I pointed that out to him too. It's like there were some, of course, there was crosses, but it means there wasn't many forced crosses. There was a lot, I guess you would say, smarter crosses. There was a play where, and this is fast forwarding into like the 43rd minute, where Julian gets a through ball and he's kind of open to give a cross, but there isn't a good option, so he actually cuts back, and it's like, well,
Gives
like,
it
dude,
back to Jonah,
yeah,
and
it was
he
like if
goes
this
for a
was
minute,
if this was 2 weeks ago. Julian would have thrown that cross in,
Yeah.
even if there wasn't anybody there.
Cross is going to the goalie, and then we get countered on that. And none of that happened. They look better trying to create something moving forward, even if it wasn't what other teams are on the offensive side. They look better today to me in that first half.
You know what I thought of when I was watching like the first 20 minutes? You know how like you're at work sometimes and you work with certain people that just kind of lag it, but then all of a sudden you guys get a visit from the GM and these was just bam, 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 bam. Oh, he's not watching. All right.
They're like,
Oh, he's back.
pick up whatever they can. Hello, how many do you want to buy?
That's how I felt about the first half. Yes, I guess they connected more on passes, but the lack of creativity I can't even say it. Creativity wasn't there still. Real Salt Lake was still kind of walking up the ball in the middle of the field, maybe 10, 15 yards after the halfway point. Zubac was putting no pressure worth mentioning up top. And everything was going to Pavon still. Everything was still going to Pavon. You're talking about those long balls. They were still just going to Pavon. They were just switching the field to go back to Pavon.
But it wasn't like a direct, let's hit Pavon on everything. There was some movement.
Yeah.
And then they got it to Pavon. It wasn't like usual.
Okay, there was 2 passes more, and then, all right.
It is something, though, because that's another
thing.
That's another thing I pointed out to Brian, too. Like, look at Pavon getting mad when he doesn't get the ball because he was so used to getting the ball every time.
You know when you guys get, like, a new training at work? Like, all right, guys, our new motto for this season is,
wash your
teach
hands.
the customer value, or wash your hands, So instead of, wash the back and the front of your hands. Don't just wash the front. Don't just pass it to Pavon, wash the back and then pass it to Pavon. That's what it was.
I don't know.
Upgrade. I'm saying that's an upgrade. From what we've been playing, that's an upgrade.
I mean, there wasn't much lower you can go.
I know.
Dude, I honestly think that the team played the same like we've always been playing. The only difference that I did notice, like you're right, they were more patient. They were moving the ball, cycling it more. If they would get stuck on the right, they would move it to the center. From the center, they'll move it to the left. They'll keep moving it, whatever. Everything was cool. There was some forceful passes to the center. There was some, but for the most part, they weren't really doing that. But one thing that I did notice is that, and like the announcers said it too. Kobe Jones said it or whatever, but they were honestly playing like a better defensive team, man. It was like a better defensive team. Like everybody kind of understood, like, all right, dude, like we have to have a fucking line of 4 and 4 in the back, dude, and just have Zubac in the front. And every time they were defending in lines, dude. They were defending in lines, and I think that's what kind of made us look good today, dude.
Yeah,
Right.
that goes with the forced balls too, because when a team comes out playing, you don't have to launch the ball every time. And when I give my Geo award is gonna go to the guy in my eyes that did that mostly throw the ball mostly and reverted to the GBS style. And they said in the commentary that I think Leggett said that all they did was practice defense, right? So you combine that with GBS that all he knew was offense. I guess he tried to touch the ball out, but it made sense the way they were playing because they focused on defense. They already knew how to touch the ball. So when they were closer to connect because they were defending, it looked nice. These guys knew how to come out because they were close to each other. They weren't like ready to just launch because there was nobody next to them.
Like to me, dude, it straight up looked like it was like some sort of Mourinho type of tactics, man.
Park the bus.
Seriously.
Oh no!
Kind of park the bus, dude, and then hit him with the counter.
To do a Mourinho tactic, you need a forward, and we ain't got one.
No, one thing I noticed from the team was that, well, first of all, RSL is in really bad form. So I sensed right away that Galaxy was able to get away with some things with RSL that other teams would not allow at all. And so Kinnear, I guess Kinnear was able to pick up on that and the guys on the team brought in like a whole new scheme. Kinnear is known for having very well structured teams, especially in the back, and you can see that because in the past, some guys would get left alone to face to face an attacker, and now you can see people actually coming over and trying to cut down lanes, trying to limit their movement, trying to make sure that if a defender gets beat, there's somebody there to pick up the slack. Um, and they were playing much better box to box, so they were able to defend well enough, able to carry the ball up the mid, and then try to do something in the final third, which they really couldn't do because Zubac, he just can't. It's unfortunate because he's a big body up there, and he just can't figure out how to make it work. And who knows how many goals he's cost the Galaxy. He needs to learn how to manage his position well. I mean, he hasn't. But other than that, I felt like they came out with some more energy. Like Spenny was saying, it's like, oh, hey, the manager's here. Everyone, come on, go.
Act like you're doing
And
something.
that was good. That was good. I mean, why couldn't they have this energy before? There was some kind of like aura in the locker room.
To Dom's success though, I think his setup, even though it was a small change, it was a very important one by switching Beeple and Steris, because Beeple is slower. He's not on the front of his toes. He's caught flat-footed a lot of the time. But by putting Julian next to him, you have somebody that can cover their own ground, and as a center back, you don't have to come out as much from the middle of the field to cover somebody like Insua, who likes to push back or push up and drags his feet back. Mm-hmm. With Steris playing on that side, you were able to stay structurally in the back defensively because Pavon was, Dom touched on it, that they were trying to get him in open space, which means Insua was instructed to stay back next to Steris and just hold it down with Kitchen in front, because Kitchen wasn't covering, north and south. He was covering just east and west, and I'm talking about maybe a radius of like 30 yards. You had Jonah running in a half circle around Kitchen, and that's why they were able to stay defensively sound, with legit not having to help on Pavon's side, but help more on Joni's side, mm-hmm. who honestly has not been impressive at all at this point. I was so hopeful, I guess. I was just blinded by the highlight reel that he can be a little bit more than what he's shown us. I thought he would have a little bit more speed, be a little bit more physical. Mm-hmm. But again, on that side, everything that I expected Joni to be, Julian is doing for both of them.
Yeah.
Definitely. Agreed.
I think one of the reasons as well that we were pretty solid defensively in that first half is who you just mentioned, Perry Kitchen. I think today he had a wonderful game, and in that first half in particular, he was breaking a lot of stuff that RSL was countering, and I don't know, dude. That dude's very underrated in our team. He does a lot of the dirty shit that I like seeing in the pitch, and I like seeing from my player. And I think that's why we stayed defensively sound in that first half. Perry Kitchen was just doing a lot of the little dirty work that we needed.
Kitchen always does that.
Yeah, and I love that shit, dude.
To me, it seemed more like it was a 2-1 instead of like a...
Too flat.
Two up, like... I felt like it was... Kitchen was playing stopper by himself with Jonah and Legit.
Yeah.
In front of him, more than Jonah and Kitchen next to each other, with Legit just playing on top of him. Yeah, because I saw Jonah play a lot more on Pavon's side to kind of help on the backside when he made his runs, and Legit was really more on the right side. I'm gonna personally watch the game again because I was just really trying to understand what if anything they did do different, because the spacing was a little bit better, but not necessarily offensively, but defensively it was. And if that's true, I haven't seen that comment that you were saying, Eddie, where Legit stated that all they practiced was defense. That would make sense. I don't know why GBS wouldn't have done that after getting scored on, averaging 4.5 goals for like 5 weeks straight. Mm-hmm. I don't know why you wouldn't do that as a coach. I don't know why it would take somebody getting fired for you to just practice defense.
Yeah, no, it was just to answer your questions, but it was either Joe Totino or Kobe Jones mentioned talking to one of the players. It might have been legit, and they mentioned that that's all they worked on all week. Which, yeah,
It looked like they did, man. And you're right, Spen. Like I actually noticed that a lot, dude. That the left back and the right back, dude, they weren't really pushing up as much, dude. They were actually like just covering their ground and trying. Like they would go up here and there, but that wasn't like their main focus. You know, how with GBS, they would fucking freely go up, dude, and expect either Pavon or whoever's on the other side to come and cover.
yeah. But you know what? It's crazy because they did work on defense. I wonder if the defense worked on some offense because that
obviously people did.
that first goal, man. So the Galaxy had free kick outside the box.
Something we've been good at this season.
Yeah, we have.
We've been good in that in a couple seasons. Actually.
Yeah, and legit drives the ball into the box, and dude, what a finish, dude.
Yeah.
What a cross and what a finish. I got to give credit to the cross, dude. A lot of pace, and where you know, you couldn't put it in a better place, especially from that distance. That header wasn't exactly that close to the goal. Dude puts in bottom right of the keeper. No chance.
Those are those Landon Donovan crosses. I miss those, man. Those are the type where you just got to put something on it, you know?
Yeah.
Put anything on it towards goal and you have a chance.
And the player that it came from, what a booster. After so much we've given him so much shit. I'm pretty sure he's gotten some shit in the locker room. Probably not from his player, from his coaches.
You know,
And for
that
him
was
to just
R1X, bro. R1X.
Yeah, just for him to come in and because he celebrated that goal with passion. So, you know, it felt good for him and it felt good for the team as well. Seeing that they were actually playing well in that first half.
You couldn't hear him?
What
You couldn't hear him?
What did he say?
Fuck you, Willis.
I want my job.
Combination of both, I think. Right?
Fuck you, Willis, I want my job.
Well, he's got a job for another year, man. So let's just hope we see more of it. And once that goal happened, man, I was hoping the team wouldn't let off, and it didn't seem like they did. You know, I think it's funny to say, but it's unfamiliar territory for the Galaxy to be up one and kind of early too. 18
Kept that pressure on.
Yeah, and they reacted very well. And I know it's Salt Lake and it's a bad team, but as we mentioned before, we've played bad teams in the past. Mm-hmm. So it's still unfamiliar territory, and they reacted well. They didn't get complacent. They didn't get too comfortable. They kept playing their game, and
I believe Joe and Kobe, they both said that this is like the first time in 45 minutes where we don't get any shots at goal, man.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Right when they got a set piece too, we're like, oh, what the fuck? It was a set piece.
Man. Oh yeah, when they kept sitting on that set piece and they shut the fuck up already. Yeah, because they kept jinxing and they were taking forever. That's a sad ass stat, dude. The first time we've gone so long without facing a shot on against on target.
It also goes to show you how inept RSL is coming into the game. Remember, as good as Galaxy, as well as they play,
as good as Galaxy,
still, Russell Lake is coming in here like a wounded animal. So
yeah,
they have, I think, it was 3 games without scoring.
Yeah, exactly. And they finally scored. So there you go. It only took the Galaxy defense to allow them. Just let me talk about that goal later on.
Oh my god. So I mean, first half after that was kind of. I can't even think if there was any. Oh yes, there was another chance. What's his name? Yoni. I can't even remember his name. Yoni Gonzalez had
2 of them.
2 of them.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah,
Well,
The first one he made a run on the left side and put it on his left foot, and the keeper actually made a shoelace save. Man, his back foot saved that goal.
Yeah.
The shot I think Joni should have put his laces through it, but he kind of tried to tuck it into the second post. He put it on frame, but he didn't put enough pace, and the goalie got it with his back foot, bent back behind him.
Yeah.
And then Subak just got it and made a stupid pass, of course.
And then the second one, he shot on frame and fell down again.
He actually had three. The first one was when Legit went to the baseline. I don't know what to call it in soccer terms, touchline,
Touchline.
and he put it first post, and Joni got like a small touch on it towards goal,
Oh yeah.
and that Gar or whatever his Garlock
Glad?
or some Glad. He just
Gar.
didn't even see it. He just his body was there and he blocked it. So
Yeah, that
Joni
should have
created his
gone in.
chances. Yeah, Joni created his chances. I don't think he had the quality as a player to finish the way he should have, but
First off,
better than Ethan Zubak.
first off,
He's no Ethan Suback.
no, he's
That's
not.
for sure.
First off, my guy Spenny has been on a podcast for so long, and he doesn't know what a touchline is, or he doesn't know it's called a touchline.
I it escaped my mind. All right, I got it right after.
That's funny.
After he said it.
Yeah, but
Rewind the tape.
just to touch on Yoni, I think it sucks with Yoni because you see like glimpses and like maybe yes, maybe no, but it's like too short a time. I don't think we're gonna get to see the full Yoni. And would you really want to take a chance on him? You know he's gonna be a 10 money player.
Here's the thing. I keep hearing what Brian's saying about like, oh God, I wish this guy had the speed that was hype. You know, Speedy Gonzalez,
Yeah.
and he's more like was it Speedy's friend Slowpoke something or other?
Oh yeah, he looks stoned.
Yeah, that guy. I'm not saying Yoni's that slow, but I expected somebody who had a little more pace, especially a South American forward winger, and it just hasn't been there. And if he just had like just a little bit more speed, just a little bit more of a step, who knows how many of those opportunities could turn into breakaways or turn into situations where a ball sent into space and he could just chase it down and go towards the box. But we haven't seen that. Maybe he's still getting accustomed to the pace of the league. Who knows?
To his credit, I personally believe that he's a smart
That's what I was gonna say
football
too.
player,
Yeah.
and I think his speed is a football, like a soccer speed, not necessarily pace, where he's gonna beat you on a 1-on-1 40-yard dash. But if you can feed him the right kind of ball, where he can get behind the defense, he is fast.
It's kind of
So you're saying he's agile,
it's kind of deceiving. Like
There's
he
fast
uh
and there's quick. Is that what you're saying, that he's quick?
no,
ball in
no,
his
no. I know what Spenny's getting.
Really intelligent with his movement.
Yeah.
We just don't have the quality of players to give him the ball and the spacing where he can take advantage of the quality that he has against these defenders.
Yeah,
He's not fast, but I don't know how to explain.
it's like he's deceiving. You know, you watch him all game. He he makes his long runs and stuff, but it's not necessarily fast or quick. But he's the guy that sets up for a through ball. As soon as you look over your shoulder to look at the passer, he makes that movement. You know, and he's quick on his toes. I don't know. I know what Spenny's saying, but I don't know how to say it either.
He's the kind of player you can't cheat off of.
He has the
If you
highest
lose
soccer
track of
IQ.
him,
Yeah.
if you lose track of him, he's dangerous. You know, like Mike McGee, he wasn't fast, but you could put him out on the wing, and if you gave him space and you lost track of Mike McGee, you were gonna get hurt.
He's
Whether it was
smart.
him
He knew where to
scoring-
be at the right time.
Yeah, whether he was gonna score, whether he was gonna make the right pass, I think that's what Joni has, and he looks fast in some of the highlight reels because he was in the right position to make those quality runs, which we can't get him. You know, there was that pass in the first half where Julian, even with a man on him, you know, he put it from maybe 20 yards out all the way, you know, to the second half of the field, and Joni saw that the defender was kind of cheating towards him, and he dummied it so Zubak can get it, but the defender still picked up on it. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know, he was fed right into space, and if he wanted to take that ball, he could have, but he made the right choice where if a quality forward would have made the play on the ball, you know, they would have been in open space as well.
Well, it's Yoni. What can you? I don't know.
That's
I mean, I'm not holding
Because
anything against the guy.
no, I don't think I have anything bad to say about him or anything good to say about this game.
And another thing about him today is he stayed on his feet.
Yeah,
last couple
actually,
games-
nah, I don't know.
Yeah.
There was a couple that where he
Whoa.
threw himself
For the
outside
most
the
Yeah,
part.
box.
but
For the most
compared to
part.
the last few games, he was rolling in it on the floor. You know, he was
Yeah, that
he
is
was winning
true.
first place off the diving board in the last couple games. This game, he stayed more on his feet.
He was
and
straight
he
on the
tried to create
Olympics.
Something, got his chances.
Yeah.
You know, he got his 3 chances on goal in the first half alone.
Well, at least this first half he didn't look that bad. Gentlemen, second half. Edgar, how did you see that?
what?
Well, considering the baby was crying at that time. I just as the second half wore on, because I expected the Galaxy to come in, start the second half with the same amount of energy, but you could tell that as the second half wore on, they kind of like started to really get tired legs but I saw some missed
Hold on, but you
opportunities.
said as it went on. I honestly think they came out flat from the beginning. I was pointing that out right away. I was like, well, this is gonna say a lot. And yeah, it was nothing like the first half team you saw. It looked more like GBS's team, where we were chasing. Everyone looked like they were lost. We didn't really put anything together. So I think just to start the second half, we came out flat.
Yep,
I said the
I
baby
agree.
was crying at that moment.
Um,
So I'm like,
No, I agree with you, Eddie. Though I honestly thought the same thing, man. As soon as the second half started, I could tell that we were literally on our back heels, dude. We were just kind of defending. We couldn't come out correctly. We couldn't have freaking 2 passes for us. But we just sucked, dude. Everything was just bad, dude. And,
We just sucked.
yeah, dude. I think it was like a good 20, 25 minutes, dude, where it was just we were just literally defending it on our heels, dude. And I was just like, damn, we're gonna get scored
Yeah,
on.
it looked like one of those. Damn, here we go again.
Yeah, I think one big part that had to do with it was Yoni had just ran his legs into the ground. He was tired. He looked tired already, and that's one of the things that sucks, that we're not gonna really get to see a fully fit Yoni. He could only go, was it 57 minutes until you had to bring in Rolf.
Yeah.
Why?
Listen to that sentence. You had to bring in Rolf.
Why?
Bad.
it's your boy, man.
Why bring in Rolf?
Hey, you know what,
still
dude?
don't
He wasn't that
understand
bad.
Nah, he
No,
He
wasn't.
wasn't. Not today.
I like Araujo playing on top. He could create some crazy shit, and I didn't mind the change. I thought it was a smart change and smart sub.
You mentioned Araujo, dude. Araujo played his ass off today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we're gonna get into that later on.
He always
in
does. He
awards,
always does.
but there's one thing, like everybody, like the energy might have gone down with some of the guys on the team, but there's one thing about him. I noticed he was chasing everything and he was going after everything and he was creating stuff out of nothing, where he looked like a defender had him like closed down, and he would get that extra little bump on the ball to
Yep.
nutmeg the guy, or to just get the ball out into space, chase it down, get around him, create chances. And that's one of the things that kept the Galaxy pushing ahead in
Yeah.
that second half. And I was like, wow, look at this guy. He's doing it. It looked like he was doing that little bit of extra that a lot of times people just don't do, because they feel like, oh, defender shut me down. Let me just try to get back. No, he just kept pumping his legs and created stuff. That was pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, no,
Working.
and that's, sorry, Spenny. That's what made the in my eyes. At first, I was like, "Fuck, Felcher," but that's one thing I noticed that made the sub smart. You know, how long did we have to wait for GBS to make a sub? You know, how long did we have to wait if it wasn't for an injury? So this is the 57th minute, and you're kind of, you could kind of see that Yoni was tired, but it's like, that's early. But Julian's a defender, but Kinnear was in his ear or something. He's like, "Hey, go around this guy, just run at this guy." He wasn't doing nothing fancy, but he was eating that guy up alive on that wing, dude.
I'm gonna disagree with you in the last sentence, as far as he wasn't being fancy, because there was that moment where he got double teamed and he fucking spun between both of them, and he took that bad touch that he made him lose the ball. But the kid had confidence in that wing to take on whoever was in front of him. The reason I didn't sweat the sub that much was because if you guys were watching it on Sportsnet, when they were making the sub, you hear Felcher just turn around and be like, "Just stay," and Dom Kinnear was just like, "Yes, just stay." So, I was like, yeah, I'm serious too.
Yeah, no,
I
I didn't know what he was saying.
Yeah.
I thought he meant because I told Brian like I had made a comment. I was like, I think Felcher should just come in as a middle because this dude just fucking stays up anyways. And when I heard that, but I thought he was telling him to stay in that position, like when you play middle. And that's funny that you heard. That's funny that you heard it too, though.
Wow.
That's why I was confident about it. I was like, all right, he's just gonna stay put
Fucking
and let Julian run.
defense, bro. Defense.
Yeah, and this is the shit when Eddie had pointed that part out about like, oh, he's gonna play right mid. I was already comfortable with that. I was like, if he plays right mid, Felcher, fuck it. Like Julian's gonna come back and
no,
defend
no,
with
man.
speed anyway. As soon as I see that Felcher
My-
was gonna be on defense, bro, I was like, what the fuck?
My
There it
argument is just
We're gonna
like
lose this fucking game.
he's already up anyway, so fuck it, let him stay up.
No man.
It's like him at middle. That's like a headless chicken, dude.
And by the way, Willis in the chat says he gives Araujo the Geo Award. I want to hear why. So if you're on there, Willis, give us a
Come
reason
on.
why. Another one of our
Wow.
co-hosts.
I mean,
too.
that second half on that right side though, it wasn't.
Once we get to the awards, I'll tell you why not. But I think I know why he wants to give it to him. But anyways,
It wasn't as pretty as I seen Araujo in that first half. In that first half, he was solid as fuck. Second half,
anyways,
you know, he needed a little bit more guidance.
second half still. So
Araujo, I think so.
Yeah, the kid is playing for a job, but a job in Europe, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yep. That's why if you know MLS, bro, if it sucks to say, man, but if you can trade him or you can sell him now,
Do it.
you do it because
Yep.
at the end of he can walk away one day and you're gonna be like, fuck,
Right, damn,
should have got something back for it.
Yeah, let's get some money so we can throw it at Chicharito.
You gotta do it just to make sure. You gotta do it just to make sure that he leaves the league, and you don't have to face him.
That too.
Not so much because it's to let him walk away and be a smart business move. You need to make sure that he gets out of this league. He gets to what he needs to get done somewhere else. Put a whole ocean between you guys.
So not too long after that sub, 3 minutes later, as a matter of fact, Jonah goes down with yet another injury. And
Don Andrini dos Santos.
no, what was it? How'd you say it?
It's Jonah Dos Sandrini.
The Sandrini. Yeah, man, and I've made that comment before, and this is how I know it's starting to get to fans because Spenny never really gave Jonah shit for those injuries, not at least that I can remember. But it's come to that point, dude. If it was Drini, at this point, people would have been asking for his head since the beginning of the season, and the injury was it wasn't even a tackle, it wasn't even a 50-50. It was himself trying to poke a ball and just strained his calf. I mean,
Yeah.
the writing's on the wall, man. The guy's injury
He's
prone.
not even worth the TAM
You know,
anymore, man.
You guys might say he's injury prone, but remember what I've been saying all along? He might be having something that's been nagging at him the whole time.
Nagging.
And maybe today his body just broke down. Maybe he's been dealing with a calf issue maybe this whole time, and he just took the bad step. And it happens. I mean, if any of us have played sports long enough, you get hurt and you're like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can play, and it nags at you and it bothers you and it slows you down. But eventually, if you really push yourself, you get to a point where your body just can't take it anymore. And maybe that's what we saw, because he looked like he was in a lot of distress. That's why initially I thought, oh my God, this guy must have torn his Achilles. The way he was just lying there on the ground, and he was just.
I thought he was crying,
The,
dude.
the ref looked. I mean, the ref, the way that from what I was hearing, seemed like the ref thought maybe he had like a head injury.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
But he was just in a lot of pain. So when they said it was just a calf strain, I was like, really, dude? I guess it must have been something that's been bothering him for a while, and it just finally.
I give a lot of shit, but I think the guy wants to play, and that's what it is. That was just his face, and everything was his frustration.
Yeah.
It's
The
just
Sandrini just wants to play too.
yeah.
It's a calf strain from all that twerking he's been doing.
But yeah, I mean, you said something's been bothering him, Edgar. But one report, one injury is hamstring, another one is quad, and now a
All
calf.
connected,
Yeah,
man.
it's
all connected. Different muscles kind of overcompensate.
yeah, and it sucks because
Another thing is Did you guys notice the field condition?
Yeah, it was like coming up a lot.
We rag on San Jose a lot, but um, I texted a friend who was at the game, and I asked him, "What the hell's up with the field? It looks like somebody played a football game." And he's like, "No, those are actually the seams on the field. They're beginning to show. The field looked really bad. I don't know if it's like a thing in MLS right now because fans aren't attending games, but I've seen a lot of games where the fields look deplorable. The one in San Jose is the worst, but it seems like the maintenance crews aren't really taking care of the fields.
Maybe they've had to fire the maintenance crew.
No,
I mean,
They got the
if it's
G2
anything like
players
what happened with
mowing.
DC United. Did you hear what happened with DC United?
I did not.
They fired their security team, so they asked their employees to come in on a volunteer basis and like monitor the security cameras because somebody broke into the stadium recently.
What?
Oh shit!
And so the security system, the actual security people that they had hired, they didn't do anything about it or they mishandled the situation. So DC like fired them. And so they asked employees to volunteer to go to Audi Field and actually monitor security cameras. And if somebody broke in, they had to like call the police. And a lot of the employees that went ahead and volunteered said that it wasn't just like oh, hey guys, want to volunteer, for the game. It was more like, if you don't do this, your job is on the line.
Damn.
And a lot of DC United employees have been furloughed. So I'm thinking, hey, is this like something that's going on MLS where like even the grounds crews are like doing just the minimal? Like,
Blame COVID, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is. It very well can be because you're right. I mean, it's common in a lot of fields now. I would say ours doesn't look nowhere near as bad as San Jose, but yeah, today it looked pretty bad.
I mean, if the field's in bad condition, players get easily injured too. Although, like you said, they weren't slipping and sliding like they did in San Jose. That was. Oof.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it might be something I'll look at when I watch the game again, but I don't think that played a factor. Into
I don't think so either.
Especially into the second goal for the Galaxy. The scoreline is gonna read 2-1. We don't really care how we got the win and the 2 goals, but
We got the win.
I think we got a little bit lucky with having a quality player like Pavon in this case.
Pavondrini, baby. Pavondrini.
It was
Jesus
just
Christ.
him taking over. Bad positioning by the defense that he got to take advantage of. I don't think we would have gotten another goal through playing the way we were playing with Zubac up top. Zubac would make the first pole run and then all of a sudden switch direction to the second post, and he wasn't helping out the crosses that were coming in. So I think we were real fortunate with Insua just launching it up and letting Pavon do Pavon.
That
What
was
a beautiful goal, though. Come on.
That was a beautiful goal.
Yeah, it was.
That dude took it to like 4th, 5th gear, and just when you think, oh, okay, he can't go any faster, he freaking hit the turbo boost and took off. To do what he did at that speed, I mean, it's one thing to be fast. Is that when I was younger, I was a forward and I was really fast, but it's another thing to be able to do like a skill move and take on defenders and catch people. Put people on their heels to create a goal scoring opportunity. That's incredible. That's what separates like a weekend warrior from a professional. And look at that. What he did.
I gotta disagree.
Beautiful.
I gotta disagree though, Edgar. He didn't put him on his heels. He put him on skates. That second defender, that guy was ready to stumble, dude. It just needed that cartoon sound effect as his feet were just. And you gotta give credit that finish too.
That's what I was saying.
A lot of players don't have that presence of mind. Like he toe pokes it as soon as he sees the keeper come out.
Yep. Yeah, that's the thing that that Spenny was talking about, or you guys been talking about. Yoni G that has a good soccer IQ, right? Where you're able to do certain things and think faster than your normal average player does. But this guy, he does an incredible speed. He already knows what he wants to do, and then he makes it happen. And then he still has a presence of mind and the quickness to think on the fly and create this nice shot, which they weren't going to stop it. It was beautiful.
So this is the Pavon without GBS, huh? The one I wanted to see.
This is the Pavon we're only going to get to see for 2 more games.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I can live with that, bro. Oh, bro, if we're
we ain't paying no money for that.
if we truly still are the Galaxy, which I believe we are, we'll do the right moves, and Pavon will just be a memory. once we're
What
li-
would compel him to stay at this point? Seriously, I know it's sidetracking a little. What would compel Pavon to stay at this point?
A clear vision of the team.
yeah, and
A
money
clear
and lots of
vision the
money.
team, a guaranteed contract, and a guarantee from the front office that there's not going to be any more loan players to the team. Our success has come from a lot of loaned players
What
that
success? Though?
aren't our small minimal sample of success have mainly come at the expense of loaned players.
Yeah,
Zlatan, he may have had a contract, but he was on loan, man.
it was a
He was going to
guarantee.
be here
Yeah.
as long as Zlatan wanted to be here.
Mhm.
He wasn't guaranteed to be here in the long term. He wasn't guaranteeing the team that he was, a Galaxy player for life, the way Robbie Keane did so, the way, other players have done in the past.
Yeah.
You think you need to give him a clear vision, make him understand that this is his team, but that he needs to take that leadership role that we expect him to do as the star of a team like the Galaxy.
And I think also a buyout clause, because if he wants to move, he wants to make sure that nothing's gonna stop him. This is your buyout clause. You want to leave, a team has to pay.
I
and
think
that's it.
that goes without saying. You're
Oh,
not
yeah.
gonna stop Pavon Talent from going to Europe when the offer comes.
Yeah, if you
Benny, you touched on something that actually made me think about something else, which is make him the star of the team. I actually thought that at the end of the season or last season, when it was Latan out, I thought that Pavon was going to be the player we were going to build around. And I honestly thought during the offseason, like, man, I wonder who they're going to bring in to supplement him to, kind of like back him up. So that way, all he has to do is be in the right spot, get his goals in, or try to create chances. And lo and behold, out of nowhere, they drop in Chicha Tronco. Boom. And all of a sudden, Pavon's not the center of the team. He's just somebody who has to serve, Chicha. And I just felt like maybe that set a bad precedence for him for the rest of the season. But you're right. Maybe make him the center of attention. Let him know, hey, this is your team going forward. But is that really going to happen with Chicha still on the roster?
You know what, man? How about let's just appreciate what we have right now.
There you go.
Just take it for what it is, because I don't think it's gonna be there for long.
It's like having that beautiful girlfriend in high school. And you're going to different colleges, or she's gonna go live somewhere.
We'll
in
make it
France, and
work.
you're gonna see- We'll make it work.
It's only
We'll
a
move to baby.
it's only a 12-hour flight.
Seriously, dude,
Oh, those French boys.
all I gotta say about Pavon, man, is his goal is a fucking banger, dude. Straight up. That's all I gotta say, dude. He took it down the whole fucking way. Like, fuck everybody. I'm out. And he just scored, dude. It was amazing.
Ah, man, that sucks. But you know what? We did get scored on. I guess we should touch on that too, right? Because that was part of
Can I
it.
talk about that?
Yeah.
'Cause it's been bugging me. It's been grinding my gears, man. I watched it. I replayed that like 3 times because I was wondering how the hell when your team is putting such a concerted defensive effort and trying to make sure that to cover the gaps and trying to make sure that there's people in position to cover any mistakes, and how did that go in? And then I went back and I saw it over and over, and it's all Insua.
Yeah.
Oh my
He falls asleep.
God.
Huh?
Insua at the beginning of the play, he looks towards the middle. Well, him and who was the guy who scored? What's his name? From RSL,
Douglas
Rodriguez. Yeah, Junior, whatever, Daniel Junior. I forget his name.
Douglas.
Douglas Junior.
It was?
So they're both walking to the box, and I'm watching them, and Insua takes a look at Steres. And I don't know what the hell Insua was thinking. He probably thought that maybe Steres was going to fall back and try to cover him. And he was going to cover the far post. But when the ball is served into the 6, instead of like trying to step into the inside and try to cover that, instead of trying to keep pace with him, he loses sight of the player, and the player just darts in, gets in front of him, gets on the inside, which you never want as a defender, especially when the ball's coming in like that. Boom, goal. Oh my God, that pissed me off. And then he just looks at he knew it.
Yeah.
He knew it too. As soon as it happened, he's just like,
Because Come
It's a
on,
good
come
thing
on,
that
see,
Pavón
come
got
on,
that
COD
goal.
Edgar, come on.
COD Edgar. What you think right now? COD Edgar.
See the Edgar? Okay, here we go.
You want him? You want him?
For those of you listening, he's yelling at the
Oh,
screen.
there we go. Mute button for the win.
No, but yeah, you're absolutely right. It sucks because the defense was doing pretty good, and Insua just totally fell asleep on that, dude.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
players clearing the ball from the fucking line.
As a defender, I know how that feels, man. When you're just like, oh fuck, I fucked up, man. It's
Yeah.
my bad, guys.
You see
And I
everybody
know
else
he felt
fucking
that
up,
way,
and
dude.
then you fuck it up. You're like, fuck.
See, the hard thing, excuse me, the hard thing about that though, the thing that bothered me is the team was in a good groove. They're creating opportunities. Yeah, they're not scoring. Pavón scored his wonder goal. But what happens now? Toward the end of the game, you get tired legs and you give up a stupid goal like that, and all of a sudden, hey, this could end up in a draw. We might even lose the game, and then what? Eliminated, right?
Mhm.
And everything that they had worked on to that point, out the window.
Mhm.
It gets scrubbed, and because one stupid mental mistake. And it's not the first time he's made mistakes like that. It's hopefully
The Portland one was horrible.
right. So
For those that have seen it, oh my god, talk about lazy.
I don't know if it's lazy. I think he just mental lapse. But you can't have mental lapses like that at a professional level. And the thing about him is it happens a lot. And I hope he gets back to that same mindset when his wife gave birth. Because if his wife gives birth every week, man, this guy would be a freaking MLS All Star.
Look, man. Let's give
We're
the
breaking the laws of nature now.
let's
Now,
Make
every
it
week.
happen, Spenny.
Every week. Shove them back in there and pop them out next week.
they gotta have a simulator they can run or something, right?
Simulated.
But let's cut the team some slack. This is the first week they've
No.
practiced.
No.
This is the first week they practiced
Well,
defense
right now,
in the season. Let me
they're
finish my
do or die
goddamn joke.
situation.
This is the first week they've practiced defense the whole season. Come on, they don't know how to defend.
Job well done.
Dude, the thing is,
Job
that,
well done.
you know, last week I was saying like, oh, forget them. They don't deserve to go into the playoffs. Well, if somehow they're gonna claw their way into the playoffs, they have to play like they did today and not make the same stupid mental mistakes when giving up goals like that. Like if somebody's gonna score a goal on you, make sure it's like a freaking cracker. Make sure it's like a laser from like that nobody can stop. Don't let it be because you make some stupid mistake and you lose sight of the defender, or you think that somebody else is gonna cover it when they're covering somebody else. You gotta make sure you stay on your man. If you have to, do the old Danny Pena thing where like you come to the guy, you grab his shirt, and as soon as he goes, you feel a little tug and you chase after him.
Classic. That's
Can't do that no more, bro.
savviness.
We
right
got
there, dude.
VAR.
Or you give him a good crack into kidneys.
You got-
let him know your boss.
You got too many legits in the league now. You know. Weak. All right. So before we finish up with this game, unless you guys have something else to add about this game, I want to ask you guys about the subs. I had no problem, and this is coming from me. No problem with the way Zubac played. But do you guys feel that? Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually watched the game through Spenny's eyes. You know, I'm like Zubac is gonna
What?
do Zubac things. You know, and I think he Zubac'd well.
He's fucking less.
But I at some point he had to come off. He was like super gassed, and that's one criticism. Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
Conditioning.
That's one judgment I have on Kinnear not making that sub.
Want me to make my argument about against Zubac?
Oh yeah, I could too.
Okay, there's one thing I mentioned to you guys in the middle of the game, because Zubac and some guy from RSL collided, and Zubac's all like, "Oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
Did I hurt you? Let me pick you up. Can I clean you off? Can I you off at the same time?
Yeah.
Reach around maybe."
Whoa, family show.
I'm thinking to myself, like, look, man, when you're forward and you're dealing with all these defenders that are pushing around, you can't afford to be nice. You gotta be aggressive. You gotta go in there. If you knock somebody down, fuck them. Let them stay on the ground.
There's COD
Don't
Edgar.
pick them up. You gotta show
agree
some
with that.
fire. He's too nice.
Yeah.
And maybe that's one of the reasons why he doesn't feel like compelled to like try to push and punch his way through defenses and try to get in better positions. He's gotta have somebody's gonna light a fire under his ass or something, because I get the feeling that now I'm getting, like I said, I'm getting that feeling that he's too nice and he's trying to be I don't want to hurt this guy as I'm going through to the box. You think Zlatan would care about some stupid defender, as he's trying to reach for a ball?
Cracks
No,
his
he's
skulls.
not. He's gonna run somebody over. Look what he did to
Especially that
Blessing all the
defender.
time.
Yeah.
He made a meme out of him.
Especially that defender in particular.
Zubac
defender that
needs
he
to
got
grow
into,
a pair, man. He needs to grow a pair, and he needs to go in there and he needs to just throw people around. He gets a yellow. At least the defenders know that he's not gonna just sit there and wait for things to happen. He's gonna
Damn,
create
man,
something.
you're mad.
There you go. He's coming out. He's coming out.
You're
Yeah.
mad.
The guy needs a pair of zoo balls. Well, you didn't answer my question though. You guys think that maybe he should have been pulled out a little earlier? You think I was telling Brian that I think a speedy player would have came in, anybody, Dunbar, Kerniak, to put pressure, and then you bring a Kleshin in at the same time to try to feed him.
Yeah, could have been a good sub actually.
You know what, man? We could have done a bunch of shit, but at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is
3
that
points,
we got
baby.
the job done. We got
No,
the
no,
fucking
you're
job
right,
done.
Eddie. Though Kraniak would have been a good
baby.
sub. The one thing another thing about Zubac that I brought up earlier was, he needs to be more mindful of how he wastes his energy. He spends his energy just chasing all these things and trying to do things, and he should just be mindful about being positioned well. Like, was it you, Spenny? You mentioned McGee. McGee didn't waste so much energy just running around in circles. He just went and tried to position himself in a situation where he could try to knock a ball in or try to get a ball towards the six where somebody else can knock it in, or try to create something on his own. And instead, he's wasting his energy doing all these just useless things, which in the end, he hasn't scored. So, of course, he's gassed at the end of the game. Maybe all that comes with age, of experience, but maybe at this point, I don't know. Maybe he's just needs to unlearn what he's learned so far.
Nah, I'll say it again. The kid ain't got it. Said it once before, and I'll say it over and over. The kid ain't got it. That's it.
You know what though?
He
He has one more go over Chicha. What's up?
So what?
Bang, baby.
So what?
He is never he's never gonna get a $6 million check in his life.
Still got more
At
goals
least
than
show
Chicha
me
this
the mental aspect of the game. You know,
Yeah.
you don't even show me that you understand the game. You know,
I
you
just
don't
like that he
understand
tried,
your
bro.
positioning, man. You know,
I just like that he tries.
come on.
Oh,
It might
okay.
not be the greatest thing, but
All
he's
right,
in there
all right.
just throwing his body everywhere, just running. Fuck it.
This is going on too long. We still have
Like
questions to get to as well. So
All right.
if there's nothing else about this game,
We got the 3 points.
One.
I'm good with
Be
that.
happy.
Yep.
Be happy, goddammit.
no,
For
not
now.
yet. So
For now.
award time. What award do you guys want to start with?
Let's start with
Gio.
the
Gio. All right,
Yeah.
I'll go first then, because I don't think anybody's gonna take this. I'm gonna go with Daniel Sturridge. Why, you ask?
Why?
That is
Why?
because the team came out touching very well, and I said that whole them practicing defense was one of the reasons why they were touching coming out a lot. And then when we were watching it, we were mentioning that they're not forcing so much 2-by-1. They're not really forcing too many balls, but the one guy that was doing it the most was Steres. A lot of times Steres got the ball, and you even called him out in one play. He's like, "Oh, I think Kansua checked in or something," and he launched it anyways. And he did that multiple times, where he get the ball and he would pick his head up too. It's not like he was like desperate or anything. He'd pick up his head, he'd look around, and would still look for that long ball. And yeah, that's why I'm gonna go with Daniel Steres. I know Willis had said Araujo is because of the bad crosses, but it's hard. And I was thinking about that too, but it's hard to give it to Araujo when you're asked to wear multiple hats in one game. You know, he did great defensively. He was eating up that guy alive on the wing, and you know, he did his job. His job isn't really to be the assist guy. And yeah, his crosses were bad, but you know, he did two different jobs in this game. So that's why I can't go with Araujo, and that's why I'll go with
I got
Steres.
this one, Eddie.
Go ahead.
Talking to Bruce, you can't give it to Julian for doing bad crosses, because It's like you watching the Clippers play and expecting Patrick Beverly to get like 12 assists. It ain't happening, buddy.
Yeah.
It ain't happening.
First of all,
Wait, who's your Chilo?
You want to give your spending while you're on the
first
mic?
of all,
Honestly, don't really have one. Of somebody that played that bad. I can't give it to Zubac because that's his game. So I'm gonna give it to Insua because that goal was completely his fault. I don't think he really contributed much to the game. He got the assist on the Pavon goal, but just like when Julian gave that pass to Zlatan that created that fucking golazo en el tráfico, it was just throw it up there and hopefully he makes something out of nothing.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's fair.
You know who I'm gonna give my award to? I'm gonna give it to none other than Yoni.
Oh.
Because I believe he should have had his goal today, and he didn't.
Yep.
Fair.
I'll take it too.
I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with Yoni as well.
Oh, you fucking cop.
What?
Go with Yoni.
I'm gonna go with Sabinga.
No, go with Yoni, but add more to it. Add more to it.
I'm gonna give it to Sabinga just
I got
because he
it.
suited up.
I see you're an original too. Fool.
Yeah. Oh, this is podcasting our way.
And you are a Clipper fan.
So what? 100%.
Speaking
Alright,
of Clipper fans, Edgar.
I'm a Clipper fan too, but I've been a Clipper fan since you guys were still in diapers.
Hey, still the same shit.
A lot better now. But yeah, my Geo award. I wanted to say Insua too, but I already ranted on him. I want to say Jonah. I mean, I feel bad that he got injured, but with the exception of a few little stretches in the game, we still haven't seen the Jonah that we've really expected to see at the start of the season. Because at the beginning of the season, the argument was, this guy definitely has to be our captain. Why would Chicha be named the captain? Jonah is the captain. This guy bleeds for the Shield, and he's our guy. Fast forward several months later, and he's been a ghost of his former self. It's really sad to see that because he went from being such a revered figure to somebody who is now probably not going to see the end of the season because calf strains are pretty tricky. They're not as bad as hamstrings or groin injuries, but they're pretty tricky where you could recover like in a week and you're okay and you can suit up and you're fine, or you think you're fine and then in practice one little thing triggers it and it gets worse. But I just felt like I really wish Jonah would have had a better season. I felt like today was a microcosm of the season for him, where he shows like little flashes of brilliance, a little bit of what he could do, what he might be able to contribute, and in the end, nothing. He just limps to the end, has to be carted off the field. Even looked like he didn't know what the hell was going on when the ref told him to leave. Poor guy. I really hope that he gets his situation together. I know his heart is in the right place, but based on his social media, it seems like he has a lot of other distractions off the field. I really hope he figures it out because he has potential to be a Galaxy great. But
yeah, are we speaking of Charito right now or what?
Well, Chicha can fit in that category too.
Geo award to Jonah.
Yeah. No, and then just to touch
Keep it in the family.
just to touch on what Edgar said, being a ghost of himself, and there was a lot of tackles, and back then when Jonah would go in for tackles, it's a guarantee, and then I don't know if he's going in soft because he was scared and he came in and injured, but in this game he went in a lot. I think he had one of his better games, and that says a lot because it wasn't a great game either, but it was one of his better games, at least this season. But every time he went in for a tackle, it like the bounce didn't go his way. He didn't secure that ball, and I was just like, dude, yeah, and I was tripping out. I was like, dude, what the fuck? What's up with this guy? He's going in, but he's not winning any of them. But yeah, I mean that award is fair. What's next? I guess honorables.
That's a reflection on the team, man. That's just how it's been for the entire team. They can't get that lucky now. Can't get that.
Because my honorable mention, Perry Kitchen. Perry Kitchen was doing Perry Kitchen things, and even though he destroys a lot of plays, and he's been doing that all season, I think he broke up a lot of crucial plays in this game. You know, players like that on they were by themselves on the screen, and then Perry Kitchen was the fucker came out of nowhere and would just rip the ball away from the players, and those same kind of tackles that he would go in on, he would win them. He'd come out with the ball every time. So yeah, honorable mention Perry Kitchen.
Let's see. Honorable mention.
Perry Kitchen, listen, shoot me a jersey. Come on, fool. I've been backing you all season.
I'll give my honorable mention to Araujo. He didn't have the greatest second half, but just because he had to wear different hats in this one game, and he had to adjust, he gets that honorable mention for that. Just for being, I don't know.
All that coffee and no words, Brian. When I drink
words,
coffee,
bro.
my brain is
Because
just.
I don't know. I can't really.
I was
I don't
hoping
really
to
see
see the
an honorable
scroll
mention
from
like that.
Hoodwinked, yeah, man.
That's my honorable mention. Julian Araujo. There. No explanation. Just because.
Just because it's fuck Willis?
Yep.
All right,
and
cool.
Bingham gets the Geo for dressing up.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
you want to go, Edgar?
Yeah, sure, man. I'll go. Honorable mention. I was juggling a few names, but in the end, my honorable mention goes to Pavon because he scored that incredible goal, which we've expected great things from him throughout the season. That was his 10th goal of the season. He scored some really great goals, but this was something on another level. I bet you it might even be goal of the week.
Not if LFC scored a goal this week. Even if it was an own goal.
Yeah, right. This is beautiful goal, and obviously it was the game winner. It was the difference in the game. It took that kind of an effort to get a Galaxy win this late in the season under dire circumstances. But hopefully, and this is a long reach, hopefully he's back here next season and scoring goals at a similar level. But at least he's giving us some good memories. So
At least.
at least.
Don't sound so sad, Edgar.
Well, I'm gonna agree with Edgar, man. My honorable mention has to be Pavon, dude, because when he scored the goal, and man, he should honestly be the face of Los Angeles Galaxy, but he's not.
It's Benny.
For me, it's gonna be the boy, Sebastian Lletget.
What?
If you go back and look at this game, there was times where he was surrounded by 2, 3, at one point even 4 players, and he managed to get himself out of a tight space, open the game up to release pressure from the team and retain the ball. One thing that I would always say about Lletget to defend him against you guys was that the guy didn't lose the ball, and he was creating fouls. He got the assist. He delivered a good ball into the box. He wasn't losing the ball. He was making good decisions in tight spaces, and he wasn't a liability on the field today. So he wasn't, outstanding, but he did enough to not put the team in any kind of disadvantage by losing the ball or putting them in a bad position to lose the ball or lose possession overall.
Okay.
Next
Right on.
standing.
Go ahead.
May I go
Oh, you ready
first?
to go?
Next.
Oh,
I
you-
think this
yeah,
is
yeah,
gonna
go ahead,
be
Edgar.
last
Go
week.
ahead.
Okay.
Unanimous decision, guys. Unanimous.
I
decision.
went nuts, man, because that goal by people was really nice. It's always nice when you see a defender move up, and people always wonder, especially newbies, like what the hell, they're bringing the defenders up into the box from a set piece. It's exactly because of that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you get somebody like him or somebody like Omar Gonzalez, or just a big body or somebody who's like tougher to try to stop once they get momentum, and they knock in these nice goals.
Mm-hmm.
That was beautiful. He did it to that. Yeah, it's a near post, I guess, but just out of the reach of the goalkeeper, just where he wanted, in that little corner tucked in, and it set the pace for the Galaxy at the beginning. Get that goal, get that early reward. But what really, 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 really set him apart was, holy crap, the effort to stop what was actually the RSL goal. He ran that thing down, and he did some kind of kung fu Zlatan shit, man. He knocked that thing out of there when it should have, by all means, just crossed over. I bet you in England they would have probably said it was a goal and gotten a VAR or something, but this is MLS and he knocked it out. So there you go. And that's my night-standing man. I mean, give it up, man.
There you go.
What
You-
an
you
athlete.
did-
What
player.
athlete.
I'll go off Edgar then, because we're talking about people, and then the thing, not just scoring the goal and not just doing the save, but what they meant to the game. Those are the big moments of the game. You know that he opens the floodgates. I mean, it was one more goal, but he gives the team the confidence. He rewards the team for playing well. He makes that save that keeps us in the game, and fires up the team more in a second half where they came out flat.
Mhm.
So those moments, were the biggest. He had the biggest moments in the game, basically. Yes, Pavon's goal was amazing and everything, but we wouldn't have been in that situation we don't know if we would have been. He would have been in that situation if it wasn't for people's contribution. So people easy for me
And like
too.
I had said earlier, he had fallen out of favor.
I'm just looking at Spenny like he's gonna say no.
He had fallen out of favor with GBS, and then Dom gave him the okay today, and he proved that he can still play. So I'm with you guys. Next any player to people.
Let Tony go because I'm waiting. Look at Spenny has like this.
Spenny,
He wants
yeah.
to burst.
I'm straight up going with PIPO, man.
PIPO, baby. Benny, give it to
My
him.
turn.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah, sure.
you can't give
Bingo.
legit 2 awards. I know he's your new career.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
I gotta say something
I know he's your new Carrasco or whatever.
Nah, if we're talking about the next standing player, yeah, I did not expect this type of performance from people.
Damn,
So I'm
sweet
gonna have to
baby.
agree with you guys. He still got a yellow. He still got a stupid foul
Yeah.
in like the 55th minute, but
That's people.
we needed to get a result, and at least he contributed to a positive result instead of to a negative result,
Yep.
like what we're used to. He outdid himself. It's not something that I'm gonna expect from him every game,
Same.
especially not the next one. But for award purposes of somebody that just outdid themselves, it's people completely.
No wonder who Willis picked. Alright, guys. People expect that in the mail. It's probably the only award you'll get ever. But Brian, you want to go through the questions for us, man? And
Yes,
so we'll do these
and-
quick so we can
Yeah,
Go to bed.
Let's get into these questions. On Instagram, Tune LA Old Guard. Would hiring Juan Carlos Osorio make a difference? He has experience in the league. And we just said, hell fucking no.
I'll touch on it real quick. Problem going around this whole organization is a fucking loser mentality. Fucking losers.
Mhm.
You don't want to bring in another fucking loser. So there, I said it. No, fuck no.
Whoa.
Out of all those coach options, I'd rather take a chance on a new coach. A Keen, or I think Armis was already a coach. I'm bringing Armis, but yeah, no. Osorio,
I just
no.
I just don't want AEG to waste a courtside ticket at the Lakers game on Osorio.
Damn.
And if you
put it in nicer terms, bro. Just put it in nicer terms. So just keep it within the family. Man.
and dude, if Bob Bradley's face frustrates you, Osorio always has the most dumbfounded fucking look in his face.
I don't
dude.
like him.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't like him.
No. Go ahead, Brian. See what you did? Fuck, it was a good day until that question.
XX Cool J. Would you guys be surprised, shocked, if we magically made the playoffs?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
No, it's MLS. Of course I wouldn't be
MLS
surprised.
or the Galaxy,
Yeah,
bro. No.
yeah. And remember, there's all these COVID cases going on with teams right now. Well, I mean, there's a chance they just take one out. Like, hey, you guys are.
Man,
I think the Galaxy in the playoffs serves as a lot of good things.
Yeah.
Like Howard Stern. We're so bad that you want to see how bad it can get, how bad we can get killed,
True.
or we can actually pull it off.
no, man. You
Like,
know what's gonna happen?
You just
know
want
what's
to see
gonna
the
happen?
disaster happen.
No, there's not gonna be a disaster. If we make playoffs, dude, you know what's gonna happen? Chicharito's gonna get off his fucking PlayStation. He's gonna be like, "Oh shit, I can fucking play. This is my chance of redemption. If I fucking win it, they're gonna fucking love me." And little behold, Chicharito hat trick, boom, let's go.
Is that the wine
Like,
talking, bro?
I'm willing.
Is the
I'm
wine
willing to
talking?
take the chance. I'll accept the chance of being heavily disappointed in the playoffs, but it's a must-see TV. If we get killed, the league is gonna, other teams are gonna want to see the Galaxy get killed.
Yep.
And if we happen to pull it off, then we can stick up a big middle finger to everybody, and they're gonna watch the next week to see if we can finally get killed in the playoffs.
Damn.
I think if they make the playoffs, it might secure Kinnear's job because he's gonna take like a sinking ship and then ride it into the playoffs like the Clippers, only to lose.
Don't fucking compare us to the Clippers
Don't bring
ever
up both
again,
of them.
Edgar.
Don't bring up
You want to come back to the show?
Damn it! No, but seriously, I was ready. I was ready to just say, go to hell.
3-1 lead.
Go to hell,
Oh.
Galaxy. Damn it. But if this team can claw their way back into the playoffs, and that's a big if, because Seattle's coming up, and Seattle's gonna want to get back on track after losing to Colorado. Then hell yeah, if you can claw back in there and you deserve a playoff spot, and maybe you can do some damage, go for it. But if they're gonna revert back to their old selves against Seattle, which is a much better team than RSL, then no, you are where you deserve. But the only thing I hope is please don't get that wooden spoon, because
Don't worry, it doesn't exist this season.
I just don't think Don Kinnear can give up a 3-1 lead. So.
Go ahead, Brian. Next question.
What the fuck, bro? I thought we were friends.
Next.
Staying trucha. Ideal lineup for today's game and why?
What do you mean? Oh, that was earlier. I guess that was before. Ideal lineup, the one we put out because we won. Next question.
Well, the one we put out with Klinsman in there.
Yeah.
Logan Jones. If we don't sign Pavon, should we try to get Michael Barrios from FC Dallas?
No.
No, we need that DP signing in this team. Yeah, we need.
No, Barrios from Dallas?
Dallas.
What? No. I was like thinking, what the fuck are you talking about now? Next question.
And he says, because I think he's cheaper replacement and he's a beast.
I mean, that's not a DP. Yeah, if we can get him, and we're not.
We can go after him. Like, if Johnny doesn't come back, we can go after him. Be like, all right, cool.
I'd rather go after Johnny Russell.
I think he's a DP,
As a DP, though?
but I'd give him the DP money.
Daniel Ortiz, 19.
Winning mentality.
Should Dom get a shot at the job?
of course,
Think so? Nah.
yeah, he's on my short list.
I don't know, man. I just think I thought yes at first, but it's just old
Let's see after
MLS.
Seattle, man. Let's see after Seattle.
Yeah, you know what?
I really do believe he's on the short list because Dom puts together very good, organized, structured teams, and he works from the back. He's defensive minded, and you can see that in today's game. But once again, it is RSL, so yeah. Let's see how it does against Seattle. And if he does, it's like, oh shit.
Let's try to come back to that question after the Seattle game.
Yeah.
To his credit,
We should.
to his credit, he is defensive minded and he brings a certain toughness to his teams. If I'm gonna compliment one thing about the Dynamo back in the 04, 05, 06 seasons is that they were tough.
Mm-hmm.
From the front to the back, they were tough. That defense defined what it meant that either the ball doesn't get through or the player doesn't get through. You know, there was no softness to those teams, and I think that's a reflection on the coach. Only reason I would give him a chance would be because you're stuck with so many bad contracts.
Yeah.
And if you can't bring in a coach that's going to be able to manage the team that he wants, then you're going to just have the same results with GBS, where they're handcuffed to Chicha and whatever other contracts you have to play.
And then one thing it's easy for, especially if the front office not going. He's already there, so that also makes it easy to just give this guy a shot. But question for you guys: do you think Kinnear takes it after not being considered the first time, and now they're asking him to do this job again? I don't know.
Why not?
He's been there. He's seen what happened to the other coaches.
Well, why not? I
And
mean,
he's still there, though.
he's like you said, he's still there. I mean, it's an opportunity to manage one of the marquee clubs in MLS.
If you want to really look at it, I mean, why would he have stayed for GBS?
Mhm.
GBS got rid of everybody in the coaching staff except, the equipment manager and him. He replaced everybody.
Okay.
Why would you want to stay too when the whole culture is going to change again for the 4th, 5th time in 4 years?
Okay. So Rock RDA says Bingham people. So I'm assuming that came before the when the lineup came out. That's right, people. Or he's saying people like hell yeah. I don't know.
3 points, playoff chances. Again,
Tune _ LA _ old _ guard. Yoni doesn't seem that good right now. Is he getting a pass of? I'm not sure what you're gonna say. A pass of so. If so, for how long? It's not.
He's getting a hall pass for now.
It's not a pass. I mean, you have to understand. You know, you're coming from playing in a different part of the world. MLS isn't like any other league, and especially this MLS. You know, so
and then this travel too.
yes. So
What travel?
You know-
You're not traveling across the country.
no, I know, but
I know what you mean. Sorry, I apologize.
it's
The whole itinerary of like doing everything in one day, like a business trip.
yeah, and it's
Yeah, that is odd.
and imagine it's already challenging when you're coming to another part of the world and trying to bring. He has a family, trying to bring in your family, trying to get your life together here during this situation. Yeah, so it's not necessarily a pass. I would just say just kind of understanding, and it's not like he's been the worst signing. You know, Chicha.
Just had to say it out there.
Logan Jones, surprising man of the match, Giancarlo Gonzalez. Yeah, we agree. It was a sweep. Jose Perez _ Junior 7. Who'd you want as Galaxy coach? We kind of went through that already. I'm gonna stick with Robin Fraser.
Keep it in the house, baby.
Yeah,
I want Greg Vanny, man.
Greg Vanny's not going anywhere.
You never know. Look what Toronto did to some of their players when they were asking for contracts.
I don't think
They were
Vanny's going
just
anywhere
like,
though.
yeah.
Because Vanny's got a family, and they're pretty entrenched in Toronto. Moving from Canada to the United States in the time of the pandemic is really rough.
yeah.
Look at Claudio Reyna. He was set in New York. He's a New Jersey product, and he moved all the way to Austin.
Yeah, that's pre-pandemic though.
Hey,
You gotta think like that, right?
where's AEG? How does his family like living in front of the beach? Saint _ Jeffrey. This one gave Klein a 5-year another 5-year contract. Hashtag Klein out. Klein out. Damn, that noise that almost brought out. That was C.D. Edgar trying to escape your body right there.
Hey, raise your hand if you want to climb out.
I have 2 hands.
Look, Spenny's slowly raising his hand. There you go.
Of course, Klein out.
Junior DSCIG. People Gonzalez, your player of the game? Yep. Bird Dog. Paolo's good, but I don't think he's $20 million worth. I don't. I've said that. You don't.
Today
Brian.
he showed
20 million?
12, bro.
12? Yeah.
Yep. 12.
Let
Today
me
he
just
showed
let me just say real
15.
quick too. You also have to think about 20 million in MLS money. It's more than what happens on the field if you're worth that much money. All right. Ferndog again. Why can't Giancarlo play like this every game? Because we don't play Salt Lake every game. There you go. Alexander Gray _ 14. Do you think Don will coach part of next year as well? And do you believe he is still a good coach? I do believe he's a good coach, but my thing is that I don't know if he's Galaxy good where we demand titles. Maybe as I was going to say assistant, but yeah, somewhere in the coaching staff, but where he gets a little more leeway. Hey, what about a GM? Huh?
Interim coach.
Or a scout
He's not the real champ.
for defense? Yeah,
In that case, make Gorolski fucking take Klein's job.
I think he's he's not above him. No, Klein's the president.
I don't know.
But whatever. Yeah, I think he's still a good coach, but I just don't know if he's Galaxy good. You know how much we demand.
We'll know in
And-
Seattle, bro.
Yeah, we'll know. Hit us, DM us again on Wednesday. But you can DM us at halftime because it's gonna be over
Let's
by
focus
then.
on that one.
Yeah.
Come back to it,
Uh,
Motion for next week.
Giu Davino. Shout out to David, good friend of ours. The Dom 2021 LA Galaxy coach. Yay or nay? There's a lot of people wanting Dom, huh?
Well, because he got us a win.
All right. Yeah, when you guys are here throwing a parade like with the fucking Clippers and shit. Abner Ortiz. How many times have we hit the clip for today? Abner Ortiz. Chicha still on COD, probably. Laughing emoji. Nah, he was actually at the game, surprisingly.
He
All
was
of a
at the
sudden,
game.
all of a sudden, he's a teammate, huh?
They didn't show Dan Beckerman today, huh?
They didn't show Dan Beckerman
Was he
today.
at the stadium?
Well, he already
don't
fired
think
someone.
so.
Yeah.
Chicha was.
He already came down from Olympus, and GBS is out, so he went back up.
By the way, I gotta touch on that, man. Sorry for bringing this up.
Go ahead.
but, like Brian, if you're listening on the chat, first of all, thank you for listening.
Wait, Brian?
But if you are in the thought process that Dan Beckerman needs to be replaced with AEG, shut up.
Oh, I'm here.
AEG with Dan Beckerman as CEO just cleared $1.289 billion in profit. He ain't going nowhere. Galaxy is one out of 15 teams that AEG is involved with, one of them being the Los Angeles Lakers that just won a championship. Dan Beckerman is not going anywhere. AEG doesn't care enough about the LA Galaxy where they have to have. It doesn't matter to them if Galaxy ends up in last place and with no playoffs. It does not affect their money.
Well, then that's why
Dan Beckerman is in charge of a company, of a conglomerate that's making billions of dollars. Galaxy is the second most profitable, the second most valuable team in the league still with these losing seasons. He's not going anywhere. Get that out of your head.
The G's will lose money if
with
you
that
don't make
shit on the
playoffs,
chats.
bro. What do you mean?
It ain't
If you don't
happening,
make
bro.
playoffs, you don't win championships.
That is-
It ain't happening.
That is
They're
at
still
Spenny
making
Bayless.
money.
See, the one thing that I see, Brian, you're mentioning that, and I do have to agree with Spenny, where Galaxy fans are so loyal. It's getting to that situation where it's like Cubs fans. Cubs fans, year in, year out, for 108 years and change, right? Would pack Wrigley Field because they just love their Cubbies, and it became known as the lovable loser. So it didn't matter if they were good or if they were bad, because the ownership knew that Cubs fans were still going to show up and they were going to make bank. They're going to make money. There's a reason why the Cubs were the last team to put lights in their stadium, because they had this brand that they were selling and people were buying it and they're guzzling it down. And little bit by little bit, the Cubs finally changed and they brought in some serious management and they turned the whole thing around. They finally won the World Series. But that's the thing. You can't fall into that mentality where, oh, okay, people are still going to come. No, that's why as a fan, you have to stand up, make your voice heard, make a lot of noise.
That's
Squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Yeah, and that's why we
Here's
need
a
to
question.
Noise, dude.
Here's a
Let me do this last one. That's it. Just a comment.
You wanna know?
Abner Ortiz. Chicha had too many kills on COD, so he didn't want to play. Laughing emoji. I just want to make sure I touch on everybody's questions. By the way, thank you everybody for
Here's a
so many
question,
questions.
Everybody.
I'll submit it if you guys want.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Out of everybody on this screen right now,
Uh-huh.
and in the chat, if it wasn't for personal reasons that you're not gonna be able to make the games for your personal reasons, out of everybody listening and everybody on here, who didn't renew their season tickets?
I renewed
Exactly. You think Dan Beckerman is gonna leave when you have these
That's
many
not-
people still renewing?
That's not fair, bro. Free earbuds
Why?
or a speaker. How am I supposed to say no to that?
Okay, I'll ask it again. How many people in the chat? How many people on this screen did not renew their season tickets?
So Spenny agrees. If you want these people out, then go cancel them.
Yeah. If you want Dan Beckerman out, don't buy no more Galaxy.
You know what?
Don't show up to the game.
And you know what, dude? I've seen that online, and I think it's true. And I sometimes want to preach it, but you know what? I'll be honest. I'm so fucking lazy to do that. It's just to cancel and have to do. It just sounds like so much work. Like I want my team to win, but I really want to just fucking cancel my thing and then go through it again.
This is where not having fans at the stadium really comes into play, because unlike baseball or other sports in the U.S., if the fans are angry at management, the worst they can do is yell at some guy from management who's in a suit at the side, at the side of the field or whatever. But in soccer, football, we can bring signs into the stadium, and fans are much more vocal, and they will let you know. They'll have signs up, the tifo or something, letting client out, or get the hell out of here. You don't belong here. But because of the circumstances of the season, everything's being played in a vacuum pretty much, and so Yeah, maybe if we were at the stadium, things and the team was playing horribly, you might hear the "Klein out" chant throughout the stadium, but we're not
GBS would
hearing
have
any of
been
that.
fired earlier. I think.
Yeah,
If
that
we
I
weren't
really,
fans, GBS would have been out sooner.
I think a lot of this stuff might not have happened. Like because having the fans screaming at you and feeling that pressure week in, week out, things that would have accelerated.
booing your team out of the stadium.
It's happened before. I
It
mean,
happened
a
to
lot of
David
people.
Beckham. Yeah.
I usually fall on the side of like I'm not gonna boo my guys because I support the team, but there's been instances where I'm just like, the hell, man, get out of that uniform. You're a curse. You don't belong here.
That's why you say boo earns instead.
Boo earns, Stevie G. Boo earns.
Oh my god. But yeah, I mean it's a wait and see on Dom. I don't think Klein's gonna go anywhere either. If we're talking about making money, then that means Klein's job is safe. No matter what we say. I see and big shout out to the Galaxy fan base, because they know they're woke, like the kids say now. They know that the problems are bigger than just the head coach. If you look at any Galaxy post, they could post anything right now. They'll everybody's hashtagging Klein out. That's all you see. That's all you see. Oh, free giveaway. Just comment Klein in, and you get a free jersey and Klein out everywhere. They can post anything, and it's all Klein out. It's crazy, man. I really don't think we're gonna see it. I get the sense of the little bit of people I talk to that have connections with the Galaxy. I don't see it. I don't see them firing Klein anytime soon, and I assume their contracts work the same. So that's another contract that AG would have to pay out, and that's one of the reason they don't want to do it. But yeah, I mean, make yourself.
Just see his client so entrenched in his position that it would take something real egregious for him to get thrown out of there.
Everyone
And,
cancel their season tickets.
Yep, pretty much.
yeah, something like that, or there's some kind of scandal, in house.
Yeah, he's not gonna go anywhere, dude.
Scandal,
I
huh?
can't bring myself to it. I
And-
mean, I even thought about it, and I was like, "What the fuck am I thinking? I'm not gonna cancel."
See, the thing is, for a lot of us, it isn't just a personal choice. It's because this is an opportunity for us, granted, when things are normal, to go to the game and spend time with our friends, family, people that you normally don't see on a weekly basis because we have our lives away from the stadium. But at least once or maybe twice a week, you go to the stadium, you hang out with your friends, you have a good time, you drink, you do some stupid things, you yell at the referee, and maybe throw something at somebody. Have these wonderful memories. And that's one of the reasons why people hang on to the season tickets. It's more than just a game. It's like a social experience.
I did it for the speaker, bro.
There you go. Oh my god. Well, fuck it. You know what? Hopefully things get better. We're heading at least somewhat in the right direction. GBS is gone. I mean, we see that nobody's job safe, no matter how much money they owe or contracts. Contracts, I mean, shit. They just ate up $1 million. So let's just hope. Well, all we got right now is hope. But anything else before we call it a night, guys?
I'm good for
Hey.
tonight.
Nah,
Here we
man.
go.
3
Dodgers,
points, baby.
All right. So yeah,
Tickets.
real quick. So big day coming up for our country's history, and well, no, we don't really get political here or anything. But if you haven't, just make sure you vote. Make sure you go out there. I think it might be too late to mail it in. I mean, I'm pretty sure it is.
No, it's not.
It's not? Okay, then it's not. Crazy times right now, dude. And we're not going to tell you who to vote for, but if you ever need an example of what kind of influence your leader has, dude, this pandemic is perfect. So just know, you do make a difference. Your vote does matter. Don't let anybody get in your head. So go out there and vote. Real G's vote. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's important.
I do have a piece of advice, and that is there's a lot of rumors swirling right now, a lot of scuttlebutt, and I would say go when you get a chance, go to the store and stock up on some things you might need because you never know what could happen. There might be some crazy civil unrest. one way or the other.
Yeah.
It's good to be ready just in case.
Yeah.
So go and stock up today. I went and stocked up on some things that I figured, might not be available in case something does happen. And we do live in a major metropolitan area, so.
Please don't tell me you're gonna go get toilet paper.
No, I'm always. I learned my lesson. I keep that stocked up like
Yeah.
crazy now.
Yeah.
Just to go off of what you guys are saying, election day is November 3rd.
Yes.
You know, people have jobs. You guys have a busy life. Don't let that deteriorate you from going. There is a California state law that allows you to take off 2 hours from work paid that your employer cannot deny you on election day to go vote. There's a lot bigger ballots or things on the ballot as far as propositions between 14 and 21 that will affect your community no matter what tax bracket you are in. Do your 15, 20 minutes of research. It doesn't take that long. You know, a fifth, sixth grader can read through these propositions in, 20 minutes. Take your time and actually make a proper decision that's gonna impact your community. And don't let yourself get deteriorated because you have a job. We all need money to pay our bills, but there is a California law, and you can look it up, that does not prevent you from losing your job, getting punished, and actually pays you to go vote.
There it is.
Well said.
Yeah. With that being said, if you're looking for me, you can find me on Instagram as Eddie_Nags, on Twitter as Eddie Nags altogether. Mr. Bryant.
You can find me on Instagram as Bryant Nags, on Twitter as JAE_Knight, NITE, on PS4, FIFA 21, playing for Bar at Checks. This week coming up as Bryant Nags. Edgar.
You can find me on Twitter as Edgar Nags, all one word. And if you want to win on Call of Duty, you know where to go. We have some good results here. We got Eddie right there. He knows what it's like.
Yeah, I have one win under my belt.
It's in Northern_Raven.
You want-
like the majestic bird.
There you go. You want to talk about a high? Woo! Tony.
Oh man, yeah, you can just find me on Twitter or Instagram under Tony_Royale, and on the PSN, I am Tony X Royale, playing for Borracho X.
Spenny.
You can find me on Twitter under Spenny Bayless, and you can find me this Tuesday at the Staples Center voting. So that's another thing. If you guys don't know, you can go to Staples Center vote, or if you really want to rub it in their face, wear a Galaxy gear and go to the Bank of California and go vote.
Yes.
You can also vote at the Dig, by the way.
Dodger
That's what I
Stadium.
heard.
I think everything. All the stadiums.
Dignity Health Sports Park.
There you
So,
go. You got no excuses. Make sure to get out there and vote. For Bryant, Spenny, Tony, and Edgar, we're out of here. Till then, keep on nagging. Real G's vote.
Peace.